Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The community's choice.
This is the Biggs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. As I was mentioning at the top of the show, we are coming up on 1 year on the air. Who would have thought our little bitty radio station would grow up to be one of the hottest new things on the market? But we couldn't have done it without you. I mean, we are continuing to gain listeners all over the world. Shouts out to our faithful audiences in Finland, France, and the United Kingdom holding it down for us right about now. Of course, our good people across the states, wherever you happen to be, whether checking in from our Midwest headquarters or our newfound friends in the Philadelphia or anywhere across the United States, the lower 48 and the 2 out south, or west, I should say. We just want to take this time out to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. We got some big things coming up in this second year that you definitely want to get in on. I do want to let you know that we have a brand new Facebook group called Biggs Radio Station. Now, you want to get the scoop first, you got to join the group. All right? We're gonna put the good stuff in the group. So you got to be a member of the group. Just go to Facebook groups, search Biggs Radio Station. That's Biggs with 2 G's, by the way. And you get all the exclusive stuff. I mean, we going to make this VIP status for you, all right? Back to your news, views, great music. This is Vince Brown in the morning. It's 17 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Unique by nature.
This is the Biggs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
BiggsRadio.com.
Online and on your mobile device.
Vince Brown in the morning. This is the Biggs Radio Network.
.30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Remember, you can hear this great show every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central Time on our flagship, BiggsRadio.com. You can also listen to us on the East Coast through our Philadelphia affiliate, Soul Radio 51Philly.com, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. A reminder, later this evening, it is the live edition of Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer. Dr. Greer will have Grammy Award winner Gerald Alston check it in with us, see what's up with him and all that good stuff. That's 9 p.m. Central Time tonight on our flagship BiggsRadio.com. Earlier this week in my hometown of Chicago, there was some really, really wicked storms to kick off the week. Matter of fact, even some tornadoes over in the western suburbs. That same system, it should be up in the northeast right about now, so hopefully y'all ain't getting too much craziness. Well, Shiva Patel spoke to reporters on Monday and said his grandparents in Naperville, Illinois got hit hard at their home when a suspected EF3 tornado struck the area late Sunday, leaving his grandmother hospitalized.
This home I've been coming to ever since I was little, and then we had a lot of family get-togethers, and we took a lot of pictures. We built many memories, and just to have it all gone like this, just to wake up one morning, it's upsetting.
Yeah, for real though. Let's check it out. Some of the footage from some of the local TV. 150 homes in Naperville just obliterated. Like it wasn't even nothing. Trees just lifted up like yoink. I mean, it gets wicked around my hometown when it comes to tornadoes. Now, Chicago proper, I'm trying to figure out why it doesn't get any tornadoes, but probably because of the influx of the skyscrapers and the taller buildings in the city. You see, tornadoes need land, like really big swatches of land to do their damage. And it just isn't enough of it in the city of Chicago for it to do anything. But out in the burbs, oh yeah, ain't nothing holding it back. So it's going to do what it do. We just hope everybody is okay. I don't think we heard anything about deaths in that neck of the woods. So thankfully, that wasn't the flavor. Vince Brown in the morning, social media question of the day on the way. So hold what you got. Right now, it is 27 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Tested daily for your protection.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
It's who we are.
Vince Brown in the morning. This is the Bigs Radio Network.
15 before the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Social media question of the day. But before we get to that, I want to remind you, the Facebook group is now open, Bigs Radio Station. It's funky, it's groovy, it's got VIP status. You want to have it, you got to be a part of the group. Go to Facebook groups and search Bigs with 2 G's, Bigs Radio Station. I'm telling you, we're putting all the funky flavor over there, all right? Social media question of the day. And we flip the script like this. Recently, a federal judge ruled that the Center for Disease Control and Prevention cannot enforce COVID-19 restrictions on cruise ships. Judge Stephen Maraday of the Middle District of Florida ruled on June 19th in favor of a lawsuit brought by the state of Florida, granting a preliminary injunction suspending those guidelines for cruise ships through at least July 18th. Now, when the injunction ends, ships will be able to depart from Florida with those requirements remaining, quote, as a non-binding consideration only, a recommendation or guideline, as in the case for other industries such as railroads and hotels. Now, the cruise industry had been previously operating under a conditional sailing order set by the CDC this past October, requiring them to ensure that at least 95% of crew and passengers were vaccinated, or to commit to taking volunteers on a series of so-called test cruises, demonstrating how they would mitigate any risk that would come about. The suit was, of course, filed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, arguing that the CDC had exceeded its authority in implementing the requirements. So with all of that rigmarole out of the way, we asked this question. With those mask mandates done away with, would you be willing to book a cruise in the future? From what we hear, there are cruise ships that have, I guess, schedules booked all the way through next year, or another 2 years, something like that. once they got back into the mix. So, again, with mask mandates done away with, would you be willing to book a cruise in the future? You can answer that through our Facebook group, Biggs Radio Station, on our Facebook fan page, BiggsRadio.com, or you can talk or text your response to 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. If you're contacting us from outside the U.S. and Canada, make sure to dial +1 first before the number. Again, our social media question of the day: with mask mandates done away with, would you be willing to book a cruise in the future? Folks, that'll do it for this hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. If this is your last stop, we do appreciate you kicking it with us. Let's do it again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. on the East Coast. If you're rolling with us next hour, we got news, views, great music, our Black Music Month moments, which was still keeping a surprise, and a former NBA and college basketball star weighs in on the recent ruling that could put compensation in college athletes' pockets. He's got something interesting to say. And that's all coming up next hour on Vince Brown in the Morning, presented by Bank of America. Make quick and easy deposits at a Bank of America ATM near you. Check your watches. It is 10 before the hour.
This is the Biggs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BiggsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the Morning.
It's all about you.
This is the Biggs Radio Network.
$15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the Morning. Get at us on the Biggs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. The NCAA, back in the news again. They say they look forward to working with Congress to, quote, chart a path forward following Monday's Supreme Court ruling. The justices said the NCAA's cap on money for educational benefits violates antitrust law. However, the High Court was not asked to rule on whether student athletes have a right to profit off of their talents. Those who oppose paying student athletes, the NCAA included, said it will hurt college sports. Not so, says retired NBA star and ESPN analyst Jay Williams.
It's been something that people automatically go back to and say it's going to ruin the ethos and the overall feeling of amateurism, but it's never been amateurism. And this has been free labor to a degree, predicated mostly amongst, people of color who are in desperation.
And I'm with Jay on this, because what have been the two biggest, most profitable sports in all of college? They've been football and basketball, primarily on the men's side. Who populates those two sports the most? Black people. Black men in particular, that are looking for a way to pay for their education. Why not do it through athletic skill? That's been the MO for as long as I've been on the planet, and even longer than that. But this ruling by the justices does start a path toward these same college athletes, again, mostly black men, at least getting a piece of what has been a multi-billion-dollar pie since the NCAA men's basketball tournament started seeding back in 1979. Football has always been a pretty decent draw. But when now you've got the college football playoff, which I understand is now on the verge of expanding to 12 teams. So now you got that piece of the pie getting ready to really expand. This ruling is very, very key. We'll keep tabs on it as much as we can. Vince Brown in the morning. Stay tuned for our Black Music Month moment in a little bit, and much more news, views, and great music. Check your watches. It is 18 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Saluting our healthcare professionals. Thank you.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Because music matters.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
$30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line, talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Just a reminder, you can listen to this absolutely wonderful piece of radio history we call Vince Brown in the morning every Monday through Friday morning, 6 a.m. Central Time on the flagship BigsRadio.com, and out east on our Philadelphia affiliate Soul Radio 51 Philly.com, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, don't forget, later this evening, live edition of Bedtime Stories. Dr. Al Greer will be chopping it up with Grammy Award winner Gerald Alston of the Manhattans. You don't want to dare miss that interview. It's later on tonight. 9 p.m. is when the show starts Central Time. Again on the flagship, BigsRadio.com. Black Music Month. Here's a part of Black Music Month that a lot of people really don't get an opportunity to check out because it's such a niche genre. But if black folk was a part of it, doggone it, I'm going to talk about it. This just happens to be a little bit of history by way of what's known as Detroit techno. Now, to most folk, techno sounds like stuff that's a little bit more sped up and a little bit more overseas. It started in Detroit. And basically, if you listen to the early Detroit techno, it is literally a close cousin of Chicago house. I mean, literally a close cousin. One of the gentlemen that we'll be talking about today is Kevin Maurice Saunderson. And strangely enough, just like Frankie Knuckles, Kevin Saunderson was born in Brooklyn, New York, before coming to Detroit around the age of 10. He is a part of what's known as the Belleville Three, the nucleus of the original Detroit techno sound. The two others with him, Belleville, Michigan high school classmates Derek Mayday May and Magic Juan Atkins. And all three of them were very instrumental in what has been the vibrant Detroit techno scene. Saunderson created the first ever Detroit techno record back in 1986. It was, and you're listening to a refrain of it now. It's called No UFOs. He appeared as Model 5000. That is the first ever Detroit techno record. And of course, throughout the early years before Saunderson hooked up with vocalist Paris Grey to create Inner City, Saunderson, Atkins, and May all just made some really wild tracks that are still being played today by DJs all over Detroit that continue to praise the original Detroit techno sound. Inner City was what put Kevin Saunderson on the map. He and Paris Grey had a track in the early 90s called Good Life. That was the second single on the album's The New Sound of Detroit, in which they hooked up with Virgin Records. Big Fun was the lead track, but it was Good Life that put the Detroit techno sound and Kevin Saunderson as a producer on the map. Not only was it number one Billboard Dance in the States, it was also number one in the UK with over 6 million sold. Since that momentous occasion, Saunderson has continued to produce lots of records all over the world. As a matter of fact, he even made it to virtual reality by performing at a mixed reality event in the Second Life sector in 2007. His mixing board from that very first record is now at the Detroit Historical Museum as of 2012. Kevin Reese Saunderson, today's Black Music Month moment. Vince Brown in the morning, keeping it moving with news, views, and great music. Check your watches. It's 24 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Broadcasting from within our 6 feet social distance.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
The community's choice.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
15 before the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Just wanted to let you know again, our new Facebook group, Bigs Radio Station, is now open. This is where you can take your love of Bigs Radio to VIP status. We bring in all the juicy stuff, all the good stuff there first before it goes on our fan page, bigsradio.com. So if you want the inside, the exclusive stuff, the stuff before everybody and their grandma gets it, you got to be a part of the group. So all you have to do is go to Facebook groups, search Bigs with 2 G's, Bigs Radio Station, and you can get all that juicy stuff. I mean, we got events that we're going to be a part of in parts of the country that a lot of y'all have never been to, and we're going to give you the opportunity to get exclusive deals that no one else will be able to get to. But the only way you're going to get those deals is if you're part of that group. So get to it. Go to Facebook groups, search Bigs, that's with 2 G's, Bigs Radio Station, and take your love of Bigs Radio to VIP status. Folks, that'll do it for this hour on Vince Brown in the morning. If this is your last stop, we thank you for kicking it with us the last hour or so. Get back at us tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. on the East Coast. For those of you continuing on, more news, views, great music. Something about the gas tax President Biden doesn't like. We'll hear from his press secretary next hour. And an interesting Vince's Vince that some people don't think the boss lady is who he is. So I got to set the record straight. I mean, this is Black Music Month, ain't it? I got to set the record straight in Vince's Vince. All of that coming up next hour here on Vince Brown in the Morning, presented by Bank of America. Make quick and easy deposits at a Bank of America ATM near you. Check your watches 12 before the hour.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
BigsRadio.com.
Online and on your mobile device.
Vince Brown in the morning. This is the Bigs Radio Network.
15 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. From Capitol Hill, lawmakers continue to work on reaching a compromise on a bill that would fund and revamp U.S. infrastructure. The main sticking point remains how a proposal would be paid for. Republicans are against any tax increases, while Democrats don't want to implement user fees like tolls or gas taxes. At Monday's White House press briefing, Press Secretary Jen Psaki outlined why a gas tax isn't quite supported by President Biden.
The president's pledge was not to raise taxes on Americans making less than $400,000 a year. And the proposed gas tax or vehicle mileage tax would do exactly that. So that is a non-starter for him.
Smells like tit for tat for me. You don't like voting rights? We don't like gas taxes. Somehow, some way, this infrastructure bill got to get done. Because these bridges about to fall like a ham biscuit. I done seen too many bridges just in my hometown alone that look like they need more than a coat of paint. For real, though. So, y'all got to get it together in D.C., man. That's just for real, for real. Come on. We can definitely do better than what the biscuit we doing right now, all right? Let's get going. Vince Brown in the morning. Stay tuned. We're going to recap our social media question of the day. Vince's Vince. I got a second record straight about the boss lady. Because some of y'all don't understand what time it is. I'm for real, for real. Check your watches. It is 17 past the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Tested daily for your protection.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime. BigsRadio.com.
Vince Brown in the morning.
It's all about you.
This is the Bigs Radio Network.
30 past the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Get at us on the Bigs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. A reminder, you can always catch this great program Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. Central Time on our flagship BigsRadio.com. From folks out east, Soul Radio 51 Philly.com's got you 7 a.m. Eastern Time. And don't forget, later tonight, the live edition of Bedtime Stories with Dr. Al Greer. He chops it up with Grammy Award winner Gerald Alston of the Manhattans this evening. Again, that is 9 p.m. Central Time tonight on our flagship, BigsRadio.com. time to recap our social media question of the day. We were talking about the CDC having its mandates for cruise ships in this COVID-19 pandemic struck down because things are slowly going back to normal. At least that's what Florida thinks. A federal judge said, nah, y'all can't do that to Florida's cruise industry like that. So we asked the question, with mask mandates done away with, would you be willing to book a cruise in the future? Answer right now through our Facebook group, Biggs Radio Station, our Facebook fan page, BiggsRadio.com. Make sure to use the hashtag social media question of the day. Or you can talk or text your response on our Biggs Radio line, 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Coming up, I got to set the record straight about the boss lady because been hearing some things about getting her confused with somebody else when it comes to radio station ownership in her home state. We're going to do that in Vince's Vents coming up. Back to more news, views, great music. Check your watches. We are creeping up now on 27 before the hour.
Vince Brown in the morning.
Saluting our healthcare professionals. Thank you.
This is the Biggs Radio Network.
Vince Brown.
Overtime.
BiggsRadio.com. It's who we are.
Vince Brown in the morning. This is the Biggs Radio Network.
$15 before the hour on Vince Brown in the morning. Last chance to get at us on the Biggs Radio line. Talk or text 773-462-4447. That's 773-462-4447. Clock in mix coming across the top of the hour. Live edition of Bedtime Stories tonight at 9 p.m. on our flagship BiggsRadio.com. Special guest tonight, Grammy Award winner Gerald Alston of the Manhattans. Vince's Vince. Gotta tell you, from what I'm hearing, it's a fan favorite. We gonna keep it moving. The views expressed on Vince's Vince, not necessarily those of the Biggs Radio Network, their subsidiaries, affiliates, or sponsors. I tell you, during this Black Music Month, you and I have had a chance to check out some interesting portions of the black music diaspora that nobody really pays attention to more often than not. And it's good that we visit those particular vestiges because now you get to really dig deep into what black music has been to this country and the world in a number of avenues. And no more important avenue in Black Music Month is than radio. I mean, it's good to make the record, it's good to play the record on your record player, but it only is going as far as your record player. If you really want widespread attention, and I'm quite sure independent artists that are listening to us now are, just trying to figure that one next thing to do to really make their creation big, you got to get it to radio. You've got to. I mean, there ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, the streaming side is real nice, but radio, as a particular campaign I heard when I was in some butt crack Iowa radio station some years ago, radio gets results, and that's absolutely the truth. But it circles around to what I really want to talk about this morning. And that is women and their contributions to Black Music Month. My dear boss lady, Dinah Lynn Biggs, one of the executive producers of this show, had bemoaned to me earlier this week that apparently there are some folk that still don't think she's the first black woman in her home state of Indiana to own a radio station. And for some medulla oblongated reason, they refer back to Vivian Carter, whom Dinah Lynn interned under as a teenager, as the first to do it. I'm going to set the record straight, and I mean, all of you who think that should have your hands flogged, because the information is right there in front of you. All you got to do is Google Vivian Carter. Vivian, like Dinah Lynn, is from Gary. Vivian went to Roosevelt High. Dinah Lynn went to Lew Wallace. However, unlike Dinah Lynn, Vivian Carter owned a record label. That's a huge difference from a radio station, even though Vivian Carter was a disc jockey on a station. As a matter of fact, Vivian Carter was on the old WGES, which is now, if I remember correctly, WGCI AM, under the legendary Al Benson. But since trying to make it in Chicago, she was primarily doing radio in Northwest Indiana. First at WJOB in Hammond, and then WWCA in Gary. But she opened Vivian's Record Shop. That's the other venture that she had over there on Broadway in the old Midtown district. Vivian's Record Shop led to VJ Records in 1953. And this is where the confusion comes in at. Vivian Carter was never a radio station owner. She was a record label owner all the way until her death in 1989. Dinah Lynn, she's been a radio personality all her career. It was just this past year that she decided to make the leap and finally put pen to paper and say, you know what? I've been behind this mic long enough. I am going to step from behind it and be the one writing the checks. And she has done exactly that. It's been a little tough. Believe me, I've seen it. It's been a little tough, but we're about to celebrate 1 year on the air this coming Sunday. We gonna kick it hard with my man Dynamax, 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon, so y'all got to check that out. But let it be known, ladies and gentlemen, there's a huge difference between owning a record label and owning a radio station. Why? Record labels need radio stations. It is absolutely the God to honest truth. Because record labels can print out records till the cows come home. But if nobody's listening to them, what's the sense of making them? Radio stations are there to help promote the records. Have been, always will be. And that's why you need to respect Dinah Lynn for who she is. A black woman pioneering as a radio station owner in her home state of Indiana. And that's the truth, Ruth. That'll do it for this edition of Vince Brown in the Morning. Thanks for kicking it with us. Let's do it up tomorrow, 6 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. on the East Coast for shows. Executive producer of Vince Brown in the Morning is Alvin Washington. Executive producer for the Biggs Radio Network, the lovely and talented Dinah Lynn Biggs. Executive producer for our Philadelphia division is Bill Hendricks. Till next time, whatever you do, however you do it, make sure you do it good, increase the peace. Please do not forget to sign up for our brand new Facebook group, Biggs Radio Station. Take your love of Biggs Radio to VIP status. And no matter wherever am I, you know it's always Southside Shy. Clock in mixes next. This is Vince Brown in the Morning.
This is the Biggs Radio Network.